you, I was thinking about you, and I want to say this clearly before we go any further. You are not stuck, you are not behind, and you are not incapable. You're unpositioned. Because here's the truth that most of us were never taught. Talent gets you in the room, but positioning decides what happens next. And if you've been working hard and doing everything right, but you still find yourself overlooked, this episode is for you. Take a moment to like the video, share the video, and subscribe so that every time we talk about these relevant topics, you'll get notified. Welcome to It's Time to Soar. I'm Katina, or Coach Katina, and this is season 3, From Unstuck to Undeniable. This season is about voice, value, and leadership power. Not the loud kind, the kind that actually moves careers forward. Here's where we need to get honest. Most workplaces do not reward effort alone. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I struggled with that. Because I said it in previous episodes. I thought if I'm working hard, you see me, I get promoted. Listen, most workplaces don't reward only effort. Instead, they reward how visible you are to decision makers, how clearly you communicate, and whether someone is advocating for you. Those things often matter more than your effort. Even when your performance reviews are strong, and you've done all the right things. And this isn't just opinion. Now, in my personal experience, I've shared this before, that in my early career, I didn't realize that I needed somebody to even be advocating for me. I didn't realize that I needed to be visible to the decision makers and make sure I was visible. Like, I didn't take responsibility for my visibility. I took responsibility for my effort, for the work I was doing, for the quality of my work. And when I realized that it was visibility and it was them seeing me and knowing what I did and how it tied to the organization, I think I was a little ticked off, because I had worked and I'm checking boxes. I'm scratching my head. I'm saying, this is what I'm doing. I am performing well. I am killing it. And I haven't been promoted yet. In fact, we haven't even had that discussion. That's a whole other topic of having the discussion and me not realizing I could and should initiate that conversation. And it seems like I'm getting a little heated. I'm very passionate about that. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here to help you get unstuck from visible and invisible snags. And for me, early in my career, this was an invisible snag. I didn't know or realize that I was tied to the limitations of how business worked, or the politics, or whatever happened in my organization. I was ignorant to that fact. I was just doing great work and expecting to be promoted. So that was my experience, but this isn't just my opinion. According to Gallup's Global Workforce Report, 21% of employees worldwide are engaged at work. Only 21%. So what does that leave? Like 79% of employees not engaged or disengaged. And so that means the majority of people are showing up, producing, delivering, but they're not connected, they're not energized, and they're not positioned for influence. And here's the part that surprises people. Most of those that are disengaged are high performers. They're not lazy, they're not slackers or those that are slacking, and they're not the ones not doing the work, they're actually doing the work. They're just no longer energized or excited by it. And when your energy fades, your visibility usually fades with it. Listen, I don't know who can phone it in and still be visible. Like, think of something that you can do in your sleep. And there might be parts of your job that you do in your sleep, you do very well, but you're no longer excited by it. So visibility isn't even something you're looking for. You're just kind of checking the box. You're doing it well and you're doing it. So it's not a work ethic problem, it's a positioning problem. Harvard Business Review, Harvard Business Review backs up what I'm saying as well, not just Gallup. So it says that leadership, selection, and promotion are often influenced more by visibility, confidence, and perception than by competence alone. Let that sit. That means some of the most capable people in the room never get considered. Not because they're not good, but because they aren't positioned. I know I've seen it play out in my career. I'm wondering if you can relate, if you have an example of a time when that was you or someone that you knew. So the person in the room that you're like, why didn't she get the job? Why didn't he get the job? Why didn't he get promoted? When is it his time? Or maybe it's you. When is it my time? When is it my time? Hello, do you see me? Is anybody out there? Right? I've seen it play out more times than I can count. I worked with a leader who was the go-to person on her team. Everybody went to her. They trusted her, which is important. They relied on her. And when something broke, she was the one to fix it. When things were unclear, she would just step in and help bring clarity. But when it was time for advancement, she wasn't even in the conversation. Not because she wasn't capable. So when she came to me, we part of the Soar methodologies, we do a self-assessment. And then, 360, we find out, is it a capabilities issue? It was not because she was not capable, but because she had been positioned as support and not strategy. She was essential, but invisible. And if you're honest, that may sound or feel a little familiar. I remember the frustration that it felt kind of in my chest, where right before I became disengaged, if I'm going to be honest, I was the one. I was the person, and even the person who got the promotion came to me and said, "Wow, like you taught me everything I know," or "You're like the unspoken leader of our team. How did you not get the promotion?" And this wasn't a promotion that I lobbied for. It wasn't a promotion that we put in for. It was kind of a selection from above. Oh, by the way, we need someone to lead the team under me, and we've decided that it goes to this person. And I mean, it was so clear to our team that I was the one. Now, I'm not bitter by this. I got better because I learned. This is in the early part of my career where I didn't realize that I was positioning myself to be essential but invisible. So here's the shift that changes everything. You don't advance by proving how helpful you are. And that's what I was doing. Like, I was like, wait, let me do this. Let me help you here. Let me help you there. And I'm checking boxes, and everybody realizes that I'm extremely helpful. But the shift is you advance by shaping how you're perceived. My team perceived me as very helpful, but did management perceive me as leading the team when they were absent, helping the team, being the glue, being the strategy that bridged what they expected from what we were performing? And that's uncomfortable for high performers, especially those of us who were taught, like me, to keep your head down, let your work speak for itself, wait your turn. But I found out that waiting your turn is a strategy of invisibility when you're in an environment that rewards presence and positioning. I want to say this slowly and repeat it for anybody that missed it the first time. Talent will get you in the room, talent will get you there, but positioning determines what happens next. So think about where you are doing the work, excelling, exceeding expectations, but on a level that only your peers understand. Your talent got you there, but you're not positioned for advancement. If people only see you as reliable, supportive, and easy, they may never see you as promotable, influential, or strategic. And that disconnect is where burnout begins. And I'm telling you, because I didn't realize it, because I hadn't learned it, there I was doing the work that I thought would get me promoted. And because it didn't get me noticed, promoted, or even called out, I began to disengage in the work. I felt, and you can type in, what did you feel if that ever happened to you? Or what would you think that felt like or feels like? Because I'm feeling unseen. I'm feeling unheard. I'm feeling not valuable. I'm feeling disvalued. I'm feeling like I'm not important to the team. Now, my peers, they found value in me, but those making hiring decisions, promoting decisions, they didn't see it. And so I was spinning my wheels, doing more and more, trying to validate my existence and my participation on the team without the validation from management, without the validation of promotion. That disconnect is where burnout begins. I was doing all the things. I was doing everything that I felt like it should get me noticed, promoted, validated, at a girl. And it wasn't. I mean, my team found value in me, but there was nobody advocating for me. I didn't ask to be advocated for. I didn't advocate for myself. And that's something that I do when I coach my clients now. That's how I got here, is being frustrated by what I didn't know. It was an invisible snag. It was me not knowing what was holding me down. It was me not understanding what had me tethered. It was me not realizing that I was positioning myself out of promotion because I positioned myself as support as opposed to being strategic. So this is what this season is about. This entire season, we are going to unpack things like why being easy to work with can cost you influence. My confidence isn't loud, but it is clear. Why you're trusted, but not promoted. And why burnout often comes from self-betrayal and not the workload. This season is not about us bashing toxic workplaces or work environments that we've been in. This season is about stopping the quiet shrinkage that happens when you've already earned your seat, but you haven't claimed your space. You feel it. You've done enough to have earned your seat. And it's frustrating to watch somebody with lesser ability sit in a seat where you belong. I want to help you uncover those snags in this season. I want to help you uncover what you might be missing and help you position yourself for promotion. I want to leave you with one question today. How are you currently positioned? And who benefits from you staying there? No judgment, just truth. If this episode named something you've been feeling but didn't have language for, that's not accidental. This is the work I do, helping high performers reposition their voice, their value, and their leadership presence without becoming someone they are not. If that's you, you'll find ways to connect with me in the show notes when you're ready. This next episode, we're talking about why high performers accidentally train people to bypass them. I hope you found some nuggets and tips in this episode. If it resonated with you, and if there are colleagues, former colleagues, relatives, friends that you think this episode, in fact, this season would be beneficial for, I need you to share the link below. I also need you to subscribe. I invite you to subscribe so that when there are tips, tidbits, nuggets, strategies that are being unloaded in a follow-up episode, you will get the notification. Hey, you, it's time for you to soar, and I can't wait to soar with you. Hey, you, I was thinking about you, and you know what I'm thinking? It's time for you to soar.